This is HRTV Rewind, taking a look back at the racing week.
You guys had a tremendous weekend. What was your thoughts on the weekend that was Breeders' Cup?
No, it was a great weekend. It was nice to have some really good weather.
Absolutely.
Thoughts number one, and fantastic racing as always. Big congratulations to all the winners. But we had a lot of local connections, Churchill connections winning, and Bill Mott with a big weekend. A lot of the local riders. So it was just a great weekend of racing. And even Goldie Kova in defeat was still just great to have her here, and just to make her final start here. So, yeah, it was a great weekend.
There were a lot of Breeders' Cup bombs. I mean, I thought some of the races were formful, but, you take a look at a race like the marathon, couldn't figure that one out. Even the musical romance jumping up in the filly and mare sprint, that was a surprise.
Court Vision?
Yeah, Court Vision. I'll tell you what. I will say one thing about Court Vision. I was, and this doesn't do me any good because I didn't bet him myself, but down in the paddock, I mean, Dale Romans, I thought he was the pick of the paddock before the race. Dale Romans had that horse looking absolutely sensational, and, it was excellent.
You have to be honest with us. Did you think you had a shot to defeat the likes of Goldikova going for her fourth straight Breeders' Cup mile, to beat her with Court Vision, who wound up being the second longest shot to ever win a Breeders' Cup race?
I honestly thought we were going to run well. This horse is training so good right now, and he had the back class to do it. He hadn't been getting beat very far by those horses, and the whole field's getting a little old, getting a little age on him. And I knew he was doing good, and he was coming to the race the right way, and that he was going to run as big as he could.
Also on that same program, you had Shackelford, and he bounced back in a big way. Although he was beaten, he certainly ran well. And I know as a trainer, all you can ask for is that your horse runs as well as he's maybe capable of running, and you had to be proud of the way he performed.
Yeah, he ran a big race. I mean, he did all the work up front as he's done all year. I mean, the Factor's a fast horse, and, kind of got out a little unlucky with the draw. The two-hole going a mile inside the tough post position going a mile here. You almost have to go, and so we ended up there, winging it pretty fast on the lead with the Factor. And he put him away and put away some other good horses and just couldn't hold off Kayla's posse.
First off, congratulations. Can you put into words what it was like when you knew you were winning that race?
You know what? I really can't. It's hard to describe the feeling. All I knew, it was a feeling of accomplishment. I mean, this is what we worked for, and I mean, it was just an awesome feeling.
Juan, Joanne Jones, congratulations. I mean, we go back a little ways when you, Christy, me in the Jocks room at Gulfstream, and it's tremendous to see you coming up with so much success in this last year. It's just wonderful. And how has it felt, just the way the year went, your last Gulfstream meet, and up in the standings, up in the percentages in total?
Well, thank you, Joanne. I got to give a lot of the credit to my agent, Roger Velez. He's done a great job for me, and he works hard, and so do I. And we've just had a tremendous year. First
of all, congratulations on your victory. Is it true you are 5'11"?
Yes, yeah, I'm quite tall, but my weight is okay at the moment. Obviously, the weights in Ireland are quite a bit heavier than they are over in America, so I'm getting away with it at the moment.
What was it like in this race? What was going through your mind? We're right now looking at it just about the 16th pole when you were going on by. What was your thoughts? What was going through your head?
The race had gone according to plan. He had relaxed good, and he travelled well into the straight, and I just had to wait for a couple of strides to get my opening, and he picked up very well.
Give us an update on AU Minor.
AU Minor is doing fine. He is holding his own. They did surgery on Monday. They put a plate with a bunch of reinforcement screws on there, and he is holding his own, as Dr. Spirito says. He's a very good patient. He's taking care of himself, laying down a lot. I have one of the interns from Haggard Equine Surgery, Tom Hoare, calls me every morning and said the horse is doing very well. He's taking care of himself, so that's all good.
I try to explain it to someone who has no idea about racing this particular injury, and I said, if you could imagine that you're constantly wearing a stiletto shoe, now the heel breaks off of the stiletto, that's the feel and the action that happens with a horse when their sesamoid is fractured and damaged. And I don't want to assume that this horse is retired from racing. What is the prognosis for AU Minor?
Yeah, he is retired from racing. Hopefully we will be able to stand him at stud somewhere after he's totally healed.
What went into this? What made you think I had to have this horse?
Well, it's very simple. The key question is, we don't really own anything in this life. We go through it, and everything that we have is a loan that the Lord gives us as a result. I mean, I came when I was 16 with $5 in my pocket. And I realized what you would call the American dream. I never thought that I would reach the heights of being able to do something like this. But if I can do it, the question in order to make that decision is, or the question that I asked myself at the time before the sale was, can I make, the speculations were that it could go to $9 million.
You're watching HRTV Rewind.
Bullet drill real quick
All
here,
right,
Jeff.
quick.
The best race on Saturday.
What do you got? I think the Bonnie Heath. That's from a or Mrs. Rivera. That's good too.
Rivera.
All right. Now I'm looking at marketing mix. Morning line choice, by the way, in the Grade 2 Mrs. Revere at Churchill Downs. She's going to make her first start on the Churchill sod. How's she doing coming into the race?
Pretty good. She's had a long year, just kind of holding her together, and she seems to be mentally, she seems to be fine.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Couldn't be any better.
Oh, that's great. How do you think she handled the jump up in class last time out with Gomez aboard?
Well, she's fine till that Galileo filly come by her.
Where do you expect her to be sat today? There's a little bit of pace in there, and you have Julian Lepero aboard.
I just leg him up, and he rides him. He does pretty good on his own.
Race down towards the final furlong, and Marketing Mix has split the field wide open, is now clear by 3. In second place now, Tourmaline. Busy Caroline gets the seam to the inside. Smart Sting is coming on late, but it's Marketing Mix who's eased down to win. Marketing Mix, much the best.
Being the offspring of two champions, it wasn't shocking My Typhoon caused a bidding storm at the 2002 Tattersall's sale. The gavel dropped at $2.9 million, a world record for a weanling filly at the time. Charlotte Wepper's Live Oak Plantation made the winning bid for the daughter of two exceptional racehorses, Giant's Causeway and Urban Sea. Under the care of Hall of Famer Bill Mott, My Typhoon won at first asking as a 2-year-old at Saratoga under Jerry Bailey. For the remainder of her career, she raced exclusively in stakes. The filly's first stakes win came the following year in the Virginia Oaks, and her first graded score would soon follow at Churchill Downs. Sent off as the favorite against 6 rivals in the Grade 2 Mrs. Revere, My Typhoon was flying solo on the lead at the furlong marker. Yet the race wasn't over.
My Typhoon digs in, East Lacozine lunging at her, My Typhoon tough, East Lacozine diving, My Typhoon by a nostril, very tight finish.
The photo finish revealed My Typhoon and jockey Robbie Alvarado, the narrowest of winners. The Mrs. Revere paved the way for several more stakes wins.
It's My Typhoon to the front, My Typhoon clear, rich in spirit, and Sky High Flyer, My Typhoon wins the early times, Mint Julep by 2.
Karen's Caper with a final try as they come down to the line. Can My Typhoon hold on? Yes. They're in the final furlong. My Typhoon, 3.5 length lead. Wait a while is second, and they're coming down to the finish. And My Typhoon, Eddie Castro stole it.
The zenith of her career came in the Grade 1 Diana during her final season of competition.
My Typhoon comes to the 8th pole. The lead is 2 lengths. Moctara doing her best, and it's not good enough. Here comes Argentina down toward the inside. My Typhoon pleading for the wire on the inside. Argentina, Moctara, not at the spa. It is My Typhoon.
My Typhoon's achievements were overshadowed by 2 of her siblings, the brilliant Galileo and the equally amazing See the Stars. But it's difficult to find fault with an 8-time stakes winner who earned $1.3 million. We are still waiting for My Typhoon's first foals to reach the races. Given the royal bloodlines and accomplishments of this family, their arrival is eagerly anticipated.
Really big weekend so far, and a pretty good racing week for that matter. Let's start with Hero. That's Zoe Cadman's Future Star. Big maiden win last time out, Julian, and that was the first time you got a chance to ride him. What was he like to be in the saddle?
Well, they love this horse since Saratoga. I bred him one time over there. But every time he ran, before I could not ride him, I was somewhere else. And he ran big, he's a nice horse, and he proved he got a lot of abilities, yeah.
You said you've been on him before. Were you expecting such a big performance in his 3rd start, Julian? I mean, you sat as still as a statue, coming down to the wire. We see you just peeking over and looking at the big board. Were you surprised you were so far in front?
No, I was very confident before the race that he's going to win. That easy, I didn't think so, but he's a good horse, and he's going to mature, obviously, and get better.
A lot of pressure, wasn't it, to have a horse that's supposed to be this good, and you never know what you're going to see when you have a firster, but I guess he performed up to expectations.
Yes, he's always been a very kind of composed horse that's taken everything in stride, and I wasn't as worried about him as I might have been if, with a sort of a more fragile type of an animal. I was kind of disappointed because I was supposed to fly there yesterday. My flight was canceled. We had a lot of fog in Philadelphia. Then I was supposed to fly again today, and my plane was delayed. I was only going to get there about an hour and a half before the race, and my plane was delayed an hour and a half, so I'd have probably got there just as they were crossing the wire.
So you
I stayed home and watched it on my favorite racing channel, HRTV.
About a horse called Hit It Rich for Shug McGahee. We're looking for some pace in the race here, and Hit It Rich might well be the speed of the speed in here. What do you make of Hit It Rich's chances?
Well, I agree with that. I do think she's going to be loose on the lead. I really can't come up with anybody that would even entertain her. Possibly the 4 Hesse, maybe lay close to her. But it looks like she should be loose on the lead. I just don't know that going a mile and a half, she's going to be able to take it wire to wire with the likes of 2 fillies, Emerald Beach and Mekong Melody, that genuinely relish the distance. She may make a liar out of me, but she's going to have to show me first.
On the far outside, Emerald Beach making a late run. Musical Rain from last. In the final furlong, it is Hit It Rich. Hit It Rich in front and Mekong Melody, and they're coming down to the line. Hit It Rich, the winner. Hit It Rich wins it by 1.5 lengths after 1.5 miles.
James, Inherit the Gold has been a New York wonder horse. How's he coming into today's race?
Oh, I think he's coming into the race just fine. He obviously wasn't quite ready last time. We were sort of hoping for a miracle. He's been an awful good horse, and I felt like there wasn't any jeopardy in running him. But he'll be better today. I'm sure he'll be better today.
Pretty Boy Freud with a quick lake move, and Pretty Boy Freud comes through on the inside. He's full of run. They're coming down to the finish. Inherit the Gold and Pretty Boy Freud, who comes through on the rail. Wire photo finish. Very tight. Inherit the Gold and Pretty Boy Freud hit the wire together with Uncle T 7 third and Make Note 4th. Vicky's Dancer took a bold run at the leader, and Lender's Way is 3rd down to the final 16th. The Funky Express, Ryan Curtolo, still working on her to fend off Vicky's Dancer. And the Funky Express won it by a length at the end. Vicky's Dancer finishing second. Lender's Way was third. And on the outside, it is Lady on the Run who takes the lead just outside the 16th. Lady on the Run to do it here by a length. Saltamonte's finishing second, Page by Page third, and Raffy's Roses fourth. And Think I'm Hooked on the outside third. Shane Roars fully extended here by Junior Alvarado as they come down to the line. And it is Shane Roars who will just hold on. Think I'm Hooked was there. Melvin Dale came late on the outside. Fields and Pretoreo. They're coming down to the finish, and it was a most impressive return to the races as Mucho Macho Man goes on to win on the lead all the way and virtually eased in the last furlong. Boys at Tascanova is now in front. Hillswick running second, and then farther back the trio of Leave of Absence, Starford, and Fiscal Stimulus. But Boys at Tascanova was geared down in the late stages here, won by about 2.5 at the end.
You're watching HRTV Rewind. A Grade 1 winner in each of her 3 years on the racetrack, Sharp Cat was a headstrong filly whose style was to run her rivals off their feet. Initially trained by Hall of Famer D. Wayne Lucas and then later by Wally Delassie, she was owned by Prince Ahmed bin Salman, who bought her for $900,000 at the Barrett's 2-year-old sale in 1996. Sharp Cat was quick to return dividends, winning Grade 1 races on both coasts as a juvenile. She roared just as loudly as a 3-year-old. The daughter of Storm Cat completely dominated the sophomore Philly Stakes series at Santa Anita. Sharp Cat and partner Corey Nakatani left 5 rivals in a different zip code in the Santa Isabel.
And she's just exuding class through the lane. Sharp Cat, the daughter of Storm Cat, under Corey Nakatani, just ducked there, but is going to win it by as far as she likes. Second of...
Despite her antics in the Grade 1 Las Virgenes, which resulted in Nakatani briefly losing his irons, Sharp Cat made quick work of her rivals. It was much of the same in the Santa Anita Oaks, her 4th Grade 1 victory.
Sharp Cat, the daughter of Storm Cat, just going to totally destroy the field in the Santa Anita Oaks. Sharp Cat by a $6. Queen of Money 6.
Her dominance that winter at Santa Anita resulted in her being favored to win the Santa Anita Derby. An early duel did her in, and in what would be a rare occurrence, Sharp Cat finished off the board. She never raced against colts again. She was undefeated in 4 starts as a 4-year-old, including an 11-length romp in Belmont's Grade 1 Beldame.
No doubt about the best filly in the land. It is Sharp Cat.
It looked as if Sharp Cat was primed to win her first Breeders' Cup, but a severe tying up incident the week of the distaff resulted in her being withdrawn from the race. She was subsequently retired. After Prince Salman's death in 2002, Sharp Cat went through Keeneland's auction ring and was bought by Darley Stud for $3.1 million. Although bred to an elite group of stallions, including AP Indy and his son Bernardini, Sharp Cat did not produce a horse of consequence. In 2008, she was euthanized as a result of complications she suffered while foaling an AP Indy colt.
Charm the Maker. Will it be awesome? Battles on between horses. Charm the Maker now puts her head in front. Killer Graces tries to battle on. Charm the Maker, Killer Graces, Charm the Maker. For Obi inside, Rev It Up outside. These two sprint away from Jordan's Image, who just can't keep up. It's Rev It Up and Juan Leyva for Obi and Julio Garcia. Nip and tuck, bob and weave down to the line for Obi. Yara furlong out and 3.5 lengths in front. Giving Enchantment a clear second. It's 5 back to Sinner's Gold and Backstage Magic. Not today for Refining, and it is today for Yara. Yara wire to wire in the Joe O'Farrell Juvenile filly.
Win with a short lead. Here's Italo surging at him now. Argentine Tango is coming with his run. It's now Italo who hits the front. Italo and Jeffrey Sanchez late run from Burning Time. Italo wins the Arthur Appleton Juvenile Turf. My Pal Chrissy pulling away from Sweet Repent. Call Me the Squeeze runs on in third, but My Pal Chrissy is on her game and she wins the Elmer Huback under Luca Panici. One step to go, races second. Pashito the Trey is trying to re-rally after that trouble, but he's now 4 lengths behind runaway leader Gibson. Gibson putting it all together. He's 34-1 and crushing the field in the Jack Dudley Sprint. Gibson, very impressive. He won it by almost 6. Sinister Brew is closing late up the inside. Then Win Geraldine. Arabella's Tune did not kick on. Montessa G getting erratic now, and Sinister Brew's got a chance to run her down. So does Win Geraldine. Sinister Brew, Win Geraldine both go by, and Sinister Brew won it. Turbo Compressor has more than a little something left. He's got a lot of something left. Turbo Compressor, wrong lead, it doesn't matter. He's 7-8 lengths in front, and Turbo Compressor very impressive in winning the Carl T. Rhodes Classic. Roman Tiger immediately tackled now by both Mamito Boy and Bad Debt. Slew's Answer, Livingston Street firing late up the inside. Bad Debt comes away with the lead. It's Bad Debt and Kendrick Carmouche. They win the Bonnie Heath Turf Cup.
Eventing is like the equine triathlon. It requires 3 distinctly different sports from both the horse and the rider. So it's very exciting. It adds the element of the cross-country to the maybe more well-known dressage and show jumping events.
Gina, as we mentioned, you are a silver medalist. You also operate Gold Medal Equestrian Riding School. For those who don't know too much about it, give us a little insight.
Well, we're located in Templeton, California, which is just a beautiful spot in California. It's about halfway between San Francisco and LA, and it's a great spot to train 3-day event horses. It's a good climate. We have a lot of hills for conditioning, and a college in the area. So I have a lot of students and riders sort of aspiring to the Junior Olympics and that level of the sport, as well as beginners that were getting started.
The fact that this was a wild Mustang who had been untouched and an older mare, I understand she'd already had several foals. How on earth did you so quickly break her in and gain her trust?
Well, I have to say, there was no breaking to it. She came with such a wealth of knowledge. I mean, she had never had any human contact, but that doesn't mean that she wasn't very knowledgeable. She had lived in the wild, and, you know, horses learn so much from one another. I think the smartest thing we can do is do our best to tune into that. And, I mean, I felt much more like a student of her than the other way around. I mean, she is a brilliant mare.
That's all for Rewind this week. Here's a look at what's coming up next week on HRTV.
If you're a Facebook player, you know what I'm about to do. It is Millie Ball's birthday, and we've tried to do this before, and it usually doesn't work out well. Happy birthday to you. Everybody sing along. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Camille Yachtine /Ball. Happy birthday to you.